Saweetie's Dubai secret just costed her everything. Now, I'm not gonna lie, she's one of the baddest in the industry. You feel what I'm saying? When it comes to her looks, realistically speaking, like, there's not many competing with her. You feel what I'm saying? She looks good. Now, when it comes to what these people, what these women are doing in Dubai for some money, it's absolutely insane. We've already covered videos what these girls be doing in Dubai for like a couple, maybe like 20 racks, maybe like 5 racks, or even on the high end, maybe 100 racks, because they dealing with the sheiks. You know what I'm saying? They're dealing with the descendants of these people that have these oil companies in Dubai. And they like to do some crazy things. My friend was just talking to me because he was taking a business flight to Dubai, and the business flight cost $15,000 just to get there, and he thought he was popping his stuff. He's on a $15,000 flight going to Dubai, and then as he walks past first class, it's just straight sheiks in that joint, all robed up. First class is $35,000. It looked like it was just completely reserved for the sheiks. They got money to spend, and if they ever want a girl to do some crazy stuff, they gonna find a girl that will do that crazy stuff for some dollars. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, we don't need to be doing this type of stuff for some dollars. We really don't. We have the internet, and we have certain methods that we can use to start making money online. That's exactly why I've created a blueprint for anyone that's ever wanted to create money, to make money online. And I've literally created a blueprint step by step. If you've wanted to do that, you can just DM my Instagram. Just DM me BIZ, DM me Biz on Instagram, and I'll help you out. But Saweetie looks like she's falling into that area of selling herself. You know what I'm saying? This is all just allegedly, but we're going to see what evidence that they bring to the table.
Blind Adams have been saying this for a while, but now there is a woman on Instagram who is accusing Saweetie of being a yacht girl. For those of you who don't know what a yacht girl is, it's basically a girl who sells cookies, but she's not a Girl Scout.
You may not have heard of this young lady because I
wouldn't be surprised.
Her name is Maybach May. If you look at her Instagram, it doesn't seem like she has a whole lot of stuff popping. She just looks like the average chick with a BBL and a nice body, and nothing else is to be seen there. Right?
Nah. If you see a girl on a private flight, her taking a picture with Devin Haney and Garcia, and looking like she's backstage, just know she's doing something.
Nothing else is to be seen there. Right? But that's what you think. Just because somebody don't have a whole lot of followers, it don't mean that they're not important in the industry. And according to this chick, she's more important than we think. Fast forward. Maybach May is one of the largest madams in the industry. And what Maybach May does is she connects a lot of beautiful women to rich men all over the world. She's going to Dubai, Lagos, Europe, wherever you think that the rich guys are at, she has them in her system. And a lot of girls want to deal with Maybach May because she's the connection to all the guys with the money. And one of those ladies allegedly is Saweetie. Now, if you look at Saweetie's Instagram following, she got 12.4 million followers. Why would Saweetie be working with a lady that got 25,000 followers? Well, here's a story. Fast forward. Maybach May had a connection with a guy by the name of Jadon Sancho. Now, he plays in the Premier European League. I think it's Manchester United. I'm not necessarily sure. But the guy makes a lot of money, like over $180,000 per week. And this dude is known for tricking on women. Like, he is known for spending a whole lot of money. So basically what Maybach May did was say, listen, Saweetie, I got this dude, and he's a younger guy. He's like 21. And Saweetie is closer to being like 30. So look, this young dude, if you deal with him, he'll spend money on you. But here's what you got to do. You got to pay me my money, and, whatever else you get from him, you can keep. But as long as I get my cut, I'm cool.
He's right,
And here's a text message that's even explaining that. Here it says, what you doing? We should do a big bear trip with good friends, group, co-ed. Oh my God, it's so nice here. And even that code is 2 hours from LA. At the studio, girl, all my friends out of state. when B's run it up on Jadon how much they doing in a weekend.
Woo!
Now, this is evidence, right? Fast forward. But here's what Saweetie did. She fell in love with Jadon, or got Jadon to fall in love with her. And so she ended up in a full relationship with Jadon Sancho. Now, Jadon Sancho ended up getting, a tattoo of her, I think like on his neck or something like that. And basically they got into a full blown relationship and basically cut off Maybach May. And so this is the problem at Bay. Maybach May is saying, listen, you owe me money and you was out here dealing with the dude that I set you up with, and now you don't want to pay me? Let's go back to that first text message. She goes, Sancho, after you done paying and getting tattoos of a 304, you barely know. Run me my money. She hates her career, so you come right on time like the trick you are. I just want what y'all owe me. So obviously Jadon didn't pay her, and Saweetie must have told him not to pay. Now, what else? Cocaine, witchcraft, and liquor is one hell of a mix. Send me my bread home wrecker.
Woo!
Now, before I get into the rest of the screenshots, I kind of want to get into what Saweetie is kind of known for.
Saweetie is allegedly a yacht.
Cool. Wait, what did she say?
Get into what Saweetie.
She said cocaine, witchcraft, and liquor is one hell of a mix. Send me my bread home wrecker. I think she's probably saying that Saweetie had done some type of witchcraft on this dude. Cause you gotta think about it. This dude is tricking on every single girl. Why in the world would he choose Saweetie, the one that's been in the industry? She already been introduced to doing all this type of stuff, because most women in the music industry, they already did that. There's certain levels that they need to get to. There's certain dudes that they let, have it. But the witchcraft part probably had this dude fall in love with some witchcraft.
One hell of a mix. Send me my bread home wrecker.
Woo!
Now, before I get into the rest of the screenshots, I kind of want to get into what Saweetie is kind of known for.
Saweetie is allegedly a yacht girl who makes far more money from yachting than she does from her music career. And according to this blind item, she allegedly has a substance abuse problem that is making her messy and causing her to lose yachting clients. And the blind item reads, this A-list Nepo baby, who's a rapper, singer, niece, cousin, and granddaughter of famous names, earns way more from yachting each week than from her actual music. But her substance habit has gotten out of control, and the messiness is driving clients away fast.
So Saweetie is known for being a yacht girl. So this is the girl who doesn't really advertise that they're selling cheeks, but they are selling cheeks. And again, this young lady already mentioned that Saweetie has a drug problem. And this other lady here is saying that, hey, Saweetie is out here clapping cheeks, and a lot of clients are tired of her and her drug issues. And she's not the only person to mention this sort of freestyling idea.
You need to build your brand up so that you're not known as a 304, because what men really like, they like freestylers better, okay? They don't want a girl to be posting ads online and stuff. No, they want to feel like they just stumbled across a beautiful woman, and for this price, they could have access.
So, this lady has a good point. Like, people don't want you to be advertising your cheeks out there, but they want to know that you're down with the get down. And it gets even worse.
I'm not saying that her music is a cover-up. No, it's not a cover-up. She's an entertainer that goes along with it. So like a child actor grows up, then they're known for being a 304 all of a sudden, but not to regular people. As far as you guys know, they're just a singer, a dancer, an actor, a YouTuber, anything, an influencer. A lot of high-end 304s are actually influencers, and that's what builds your brand better. Why do you think I'm in so many people's YouTube videos? I'm on podcasts like Fresh and Fit. I'm in 20v1s with Kodak. It's all because it builds your persona, it builds your brand. So this way, when I say, hey, I want X amount, it makes sense because I'm an entertainer, I'm a celebrity.
Now, she's breaking down the whole playbook for influencers. If you look at somebody like Saweetie, she's always on like 20 versus 1 shows. She's always on like podcasts, the Fresh and Fit. Like, she moves around, and you don't really see a whole lot of the better rappers doing that, like Cardi B. And to be honest, Cardi B, did mention that Saweetie was doing stuff like this. Remember that Saweetie was with Quavo, and then Saweetie ended up sleeping with Offset, which caused some tension between the whole Migos crew and all of that. Like, I mean, Saweetie just is down bad for real. Like, just down bad as hell. But check this out.
I have said it before, and I get crucified for it. People get so mad every single time I bring it up. But your favorite musicians are not very wealthy. Like, there's no money to be made in the music industry. A lot of them are broke. Some of the influencers on this app make more money than your favorite musicians. And the reason why, it's not just because, I think especially this applies especially like in hip hop, it's not just because they don't get paid that much. It's also because they get paid a decent amount. It's because their lifestyle is extremely expensive. Like, if you are in hip hop, part of being in hip hop is that you have to look rich, you have to pretend to be ultra wealthy, and living outside of your means is very expensive. It's not just like having a fancy house and owning cars, right? It's also like having a glam team all the time, having an agent, having a manager, having a social media person. All of that is very, very expensive. In your mind, you thought Saweetie was affording all of that off of her music career when she's been in the game 10 years and has still not put out a debut album?
Now, this young lady mentioned something similar about your favorite influencers being broke. Now, for me, I'm looking at 12.4 million followers. I'm like, damn, she must be doing good. But if you look at her lifestyle, she got to keep up that image, right? Like, that's how she got popular. Now, this is something that's interesting because somebody like me, as a YouTuber or a down bad influencer, like, I got, popular because of my commentary. Nobody follows me because I need to be extravagant or opulent or fashion based. And this is why a lot of YouTubers end up having more money than influencers, because people tend to watch us for us, and we don't have a pressure of trying to be, flashy or living a big lifestyle. That's the same thing with athletes. They don't have to actually live a rich lifestyle to be rich. Like Kawhi Leonard is a good example of that. But if you come in the game and you're a hot chick like Saweetie, you have a lifestyle, and if the money isn't coming in because the music industry doesn't pay it, you got to get that money somehow, all right? And so, and then also, she's never had a debut album, so you're not making money from music. So what are you making money from? But wait, there's more.
If you are ever trying to pocket watch your favorite celebrity and their musician specifically, right, you're trying to figure out if they're broke or not, all you have to do is check to see their endorsement deals, right? The more endorsement deals they have, the more paid they are. If you have a favorite celebrity, I'm not going to say no names, there's one in particular I'm thinking of, and they haven't had an endorsement deal in years, they're probably broke. And I'm going to leave that at that. Unless they own businesses and companies that are kept on the hush, 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 they're probably broke.
So this is an important distinction. Again, like, if you look at somebody and the brand deals that they have, this would indicate how much money they actually make. Now, this is something that we saw with Will Smith.
All right, Phil, we're going to leave that right there. I want y'all to comment down below what y'all think is going on with Saweetie. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because I feel like she already got introduced to those type of activities and lifestyle just in the music industry itself. So now just going over to the Dubai sheiks to start doing some crazy things for some extra cash. Yeah, she's leveling up what she's doing, but she's also leveling up the amount of money that she's getting. And in reality, like she was saying, like, without the endorsement deals and things of that nature, they aren't going to be making money unless they have a business. The business is one of the most important things that anyone can have in today's society. And it's much easier now than ever before just because we have the internet. You can do an online business. You don't need to own a storefront. You don't need to pay for products. You don't need to do any of that. If you want to learn how you can start your own online business, just DM me Biz on my Instagram and I will show you how. Love you guys. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Love ya.